Hello, everyone.
Isabel Flores, let's get it going. All right, what? That's some sick ass hair, Daniel. I fucks with that. That's cool as fuck, man. That's cool.
No.
Oh, someone and Miss Chavez is spaced out right now. That's crazy. She's literally just looking around in space. That's crazy.
We're wearing Cohort 6.
Yeah,
Point.
Emily, you're right. You're right. I hear you. Just ask me if you want. What? Nathan got the fresh fade? Ooh wee, Mr. Tamayo with the fresh taper fade. And let's see who else. Eduardo, let's see who else is. Miss Castro still eating her nails like always. Tripping on that. All right, cool. It's a pleasure. See you guys. It's after lunch. Cool, cool, cool. Miss Brianna Diaz, you can't fix your hair that much. It's not gonna work out for you. It's good. Melanie, it's not that funny, but you can laugh. Cool. Appreciate you guys. Miss Kyla Cortez, she got like her whole life in the backpack, looking for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. That's cool. Miss Finley has the camera off. She ain't fucking with nobody. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, we're gonna be good. Hey, man, we got this. Man, you guys got me at work. I'm filling in for Michelle. She's kind of cool. She's cool when she's asleep. So I'm filling in. Hopefully, it provide you some good information. Shit, I do want you guys help or anything. Let's see who else. Who else is needed, bro? I'm really fucking with your hair, Daniel. That's just player. I tried to bleach my hair one day. It went horrible. You did a good job though. All right, Giselle, are you in the office or are you at school? Where are you at, Miss Chavez? Other than
I'm at
spaced out.
school. I'm at school.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. That's cool, man. I like your background. At least she's being creative. Now I just see her forehead shit because she got shy. All right, cool. All right. Like always, I've met a couple of you guys. I've met Miss Castro a couple times. She's always trying to bully me at the field trips, but she's a good soul. Her homegirls. But let's see. All right, cool. Let's get this started. All right. We're gonna have just a little brief announcements from Joanna, but you guys have a field trip coming up on the 14th. You guys have a field trip. Take advantage of it. You got to sign up this week. It's the finance park. It's actually worthwhile. Other than a free lunch, it provides you like the basic skills to like run finances and run a real life. But either way, I'll let Joanna start so we could get popping.
I'll pass it to Sheila.
Oh,
Yeah,
tomato, tomato.
it's all right. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you so much for being here again for our week 14 or week 2 of the spring semester. Thank you, thank you. If you are an alumni, please put alumni before your name, but I don't see any alumni here. But if you are a student leader, please add SL before your name so we can identify you. Also, we if you have any problems with unmuting yourself or turning your camera on, please let our attendance VA know her name is Johanna and send her a message for that. Also, for the JA Finance Park, I think that's the most important thing that I have to announce right now. I know you guys, or 21 of you, have already attended out of 24. So for those three who did not go last year with Miss Finley, you have the chance to attend this year because for those who went with Miss Finley last year, you already have a 4 points from that. So you don't have to attend this year. So for those three who did not attend, please make sure to RSVP to our JA Finance Park. You can either choose February 7 or February 14. That's up to you. And I think that's all for now. I'm going to pass it on to Pablo. Thank you.
All right, cool. Wow, awesome announcements. I almost wanted to be a kid again. All right, but we will start. I'm gonna share my screen. And I start a little differently. So let's see. I'm trying to see how you feeling right now. So this is the emotions wheels. Right now in the chat, you're gonna put the three emotions that you relate with right now. Right now, I care about honesty. I don't care about lies. I'm not social media. You don't have to fake it to make it with me. But how do you feel right now? Like right now, I'm curious, a little confused because I had to run out the office to get this Zoom. But overall I'm happy. So put that in the chat. You start from the outside and work your way in. Pick one from the outside and work. And here all I do respect here is honesty. I want 100% sincerity. I want your opinion of things. And if you want another level of privacy, you can send it to me directly. But start populating the chat with your responses. All right, so I hope you guys know how to use the chat function. Okay, I see Jimena Soto's kind of spaced out, so if you need to learn how to use the chat function, please let me know. And I do call on you guys for participation. I know you guys are used to dealing with that. Cool. You guys are true. Remember, try to choose 3 emotions. One from the outside, one from the middle, one from the center. But still, either way, thank you guys. Thank you, Miss Martinez, Miss Hernandez, Miss Castro, Miss Hernandez again. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. All right. And this, when I just share the emotions wheels, it's to understand. I know this is after lunch, but the way you feel at every moment is the way you're going to behave, is the way you're going to be productive, is the way you're going to be not productive. If I'm feeling, let's say, withdrawn, distant, bad, like I'm not going to be the best version of myself. That's why it's like really important. Once I know in my classes, I run this every time. Once you start identifying how you feel, your emotions, you can start identifying like, why did I do bad on a test? Or why wasn't I the best brother, the best son, the best student, the best baseball player? Because your emotions dictate your success rate. And it shows you, all right, if I'm sad, I'm tired, I'm this, what can I do? You know, drink a coffee. I know it's after lunch. You guys are jacked up on all this processed food from lunch, you know, tacos, burritos, donuts, but let's go. So you start considering different options. All right, I'll give you 1 more minute. I see almost everyone filled it out in all aspects, and then we'll go from there. All right, we're just missing a couple few. And remember, participation, Miss Sheila Jane and Miss Joanna are kind of like the overlords. They're watching everything you do digitally, and they're in charge of your paycheck. So the more work you do, the more money you get paid. So I'm going to stop sharing so I could start my presentation with you guys. And I do appreciate you guys showing up and figuring it all out. So, boom. So we'll start the presentation now. Today we're going to be talking about a lot about finances and different aspects of the finances and investment. So it's going to be a little bit more detail oriented. I know you guys are level 1, so you guys are just learning about this, but this is an internship. And it's important for you guys to recognize that your input, your value, doing your homework, going to field trips is important because that's how you get paid the $500 for every semester. And a lot of you didn't get the $500, and I encourage you, if not Sheila or Joanna, go to China for a month on that $500 that you're not making. So take advantage of that. So today we're focusing on investments. So go to the next slide. All right. Last week we covered like the basics. It was just a review. This is the second week. So, you know, SMART goals, visions. Yeah, cool. You did it. It's just a rephrase. But today we're focusing strictly on finances, investments, and learning the basics of that. And that's why it's important as we go to the next PowerPoint slide, it's important to understand that the finance part is directly connected to everything that we're learning right now. So as we go to the next PowerPoint slide again, we're going to be learning about this. So the learning objectives. Could I please have, let's see, random call in. Could I please have Emily Hernandez? Could you please read the first learning objective?
Understand how taxes, interest, and compounding work together to shape personal and national financial systems and recognize the impact of early investment and factors on long-term growth.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Emily. Could I have Mr. Nathan Tamayo read the second bullet point of learning objectives?
Distinguish between saving and investing by examining how risk, return, and inflation affect financial outcomes, and learn to align financial goals with appropriate strategies.
I appreciate you, Mr. Nathan. And if I could have, let's see, Jacob Duarte.
Explore common investment vehicles and learn how diversification
Diversification.
diversification reduces risk and support long-term financial stability and growth.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate that. So, like, we're gonna talk. There's gonna be a lot of details right here. It's gonna be interesting, but it's gonna be a lot of details: taxes, interest, compounding, saving, investing, and we're gonna talk about different investment vehicles. And investment vehicles, in short, is just different ways that you can invest, different ways that you could move and groove around. So that's what we'll go. So we'll go to the next slide. All right, understanding interest and compound. Interest is easy. If you borrow $100, you got to pay an interest to pay it back. But also, if you invest $100, you get an interest back. So simple interest is, say, they give you examples, but say you invest $1,000 and at a 5% interest. At the end of the year, you get $50. But the next year, now, if you leave that same 1,000, now you're getting interest on 1,050, and it keeps growing little by little by little. So that's what the interest is: the cost of borrowing money or the reward of lending or saving money. Because when you borrow money, you have to pay back everything. You know, when you borrow money, you have an interest. If you borrow 100, 7% interest, or sometimes cars are at 15% interest, you're paying back 115 a year. But at the same time, if you're investing, you get interest, you get dividends, you get this, and that pays you 5, 7, 8% as a gross gain. So you put $100, you get $8. And compound interest grows. Every $100 you've saved now until you're 65 turns into a huge amount of money because of the compound interest. We're going to watch a short video that breaks it down even more. But this is going to be a lot of detailed work as we go through this new subject for you guys.
Let's assume a very generous bank offers to pay John and Lisa a return of 10% per year, and they each invest $1,000 called a principal. John wants to spend the interest each year and only keep the principal in the bank, while Lisa wants to save for 30 years, so she doesn't take the interest out each year. In John's case, the 10% amount to $100 each year. So after 1 year, he'll have $1,100 in his account, out of which he'll take $100. After the second year, he'll once again have $1,100 in his account, out of which he'll take $100. After the 30th year, he'll have $1,100 as usual and take $100. He will be left with $1,000 in his account. So his principal and the returns he made amount to $100 multiplied by 30, so another $3,000. A grand total of $4,000 that he made over 30 years. Lisa, on the other hand, will make more. After 1 year, she will have $1,100 in her account, but she keeps everything there. After the second year, she will earn 10% of those $1,100, and not only on the initial $1,000. Therefore, she will have $1,100 plus $110, so $1,210. After the third year, she will earn 10% of those $1,210 and have $1,331. After year 30, she will have $17,449.40, over 4 times more than John.
All right, cool. So it just gives you a breakdown. This is going to be a lot of information to process, and there's classes in university systems, there's classes online that focus on financial intelligence. We are not advisors, but financial intelligence is the ability to understand how different aspects of that work. This is a learning process. You're going to hear this today, you're going to hear this over and over if you're with Youth Champions for the next semesters also. But pretty much interest benefits you if it's an investment. Interest, you pay more if it's a loan. If you're borrowing, the interest is a charge. If you're investing, the interest is a gain. That's the most thing. And the compound interest is letting it grow little by little, just by letting your money sit there. So we go to the next slide. All right. So let's see this. Remember, these are workbook questions. These are also part of your workbook. So why do you think saving or investing earlier in life can make a bigger difference than starting later, even if this monthly amount is so small? So answer the question in the chat, and then we'll talk about it a little. How might this change the way you think about money? So put that in the chat. I need 20 something responses. And this is huge because I made the mistake of making bad life choices that I started investing when I was in my 30s. And I missed 10 years of investment. So if you guys invest the same amount, say $100 now, and I invest $100, you're going to have almost triple or quadruple the money I have with the same amount of money. So that's fucking sucks for me. But that's what I'm saying. If you start earlier, you make more money by just letting your money sit and ride. Yep, very simple. Thank you, Miss Hernandez. And this is that because there's even a higher the earth pretty much the earlier you start saving, the more money comes down the line. But the thing is, you won't see it for the first 5 to 10 to 15 years. After that point, that's when you see the money really just start accelerating just off the interest alone. So it's really important to consider that. All right, I need 18 more responses. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. All right, thank you, Miss Rodriguez. All right, Chavez, cool. All right, and if I could have Miss Rodriguez, Ellen Rodriguez, unmute yourself and explain your theory or explain your train of thought.
My train of thought was that since you're starting younger, like you'd be putting more money in for more amount of time, so you'd just be building more money at the end of the day.
Yeah, straight to the point. That's a perfect, good explanation. That's perfect. Thank you so much. All right, cool. Let's see, we got a couple more filled out. If I could have Melanie, please unmute yourself. And how would I say your last name?
Howdy.
Well, how are you? I'm doing good, but how
No,
would you
no.
say your last name?
It's Howdy.
Oh, Jauregui. That's cool.
Yeah.
Where's that name from?
I'm pretty sure Spain.
Oh, aren't you bougie? That's cool. Beautiful name. So Melanie Jauregui. So what's your opinion?
My opinion is that like the more time you let it rest, like it's better to start earlier because like you don't have all the time in the world to start investing.
Yeah, that is true. We get lazy and we start spending money on things that don't make us money. Perfect answer. Thank you, Melanie. And if I could get Eduardo Miranda, what's your opinion, Playboy?
I put like if you start early, it'll make a big difference because you can just watch it grow over the years.
Yep. Simple. All right, good shit, man. Appreciate that. All right, we will head to the next one. Keep this train running. All right. Now this is going to be what we're going to break down into the differences. Saving versus investing. Risk, return, and inflation. We all know what savings is. We all know savings. Everyone gives the image of the piggy bank. You know, I grew up when I was a kid, we would have those little ceramic piggy banks that you literally put your spare change in, and at the end of the year, bust it open so you could get the money. So savings is kind of simple. Every paycheck, if you save 10% of the paycheck and put it in the bank, you'll be huge. Now, investing's more important. Investing would be the aspect of putting your money and making it work for you. That's what's the big difference. Putting the money and making it work for you. Because investing could be anything. Because like right now, I have different investings. Like I have stocks. I have international banks. Like I've just invested in Italy in some because safe bets, you know, the American financial system's delicate right now. I invested in Germany in defense contractors, people that make weapons, me with this because of NATO. I also made some high risk investments in cryptocurrency. That's not for the weak. I really have that's a rough business, but you know, I do day trading on that. But investing something that you put money on to make money. That's the most important thing. You know, investing is putting your money to make you money. When I get bored, I'll go to the car auction and buy me $10,000 worth of cars. There's one or three to just sell. You know, That's an investment. Then we'll go on to inflation and real returns. Inflation is the cost. Everything of the cost goes up. Everything. What I used to pay for a McDonald's burger was a lot less that you guys pay because things get more expensive. Incomes go, everything increase. So the same dollar I used to make doesn't go as far as the dollar you will make because my dollar won't go that far because inflation. Your guys' dollar's for sure not going anywhere. And real returns are after the inflation. They say a 3% inflation rate is always due to all calculations. So if you make 10% interest in gains or money, you could deduct 3% because the cost of living is always going up. These right here are subjects that are high school, but you really get into them in college financial courses. So some of you that are going to take college and financing or major in finance or major in economics, macro or micro, city or worldwide or geopolitics, these are terms that you're going to learn. I'm just trying to keep them as simple as possible so you understand, so you get a basic understanding. And then we go to the fees, taxes, and costs. Everything you have, your bank account has a fee to open. Your bank account has a fee to use the ATM. Your bank account, if you leave money in there, there's taxes to be paid. And there's a cost in everything. You got to consider that because that's very, very important in all the fees because that will affect your savings, that will affect your investing. Say an account right now I have with cryptocurrency. If I make $10 in a day and I take out those $10 with the fees and everything, I only get $7. So you got to count those fees and taxes and costs on everything. And that's very more, they should have made this no guarantees in investing. Again, I'm going to say there's no guarantees in investing. And what I mean by that is that when you invest, you have no guarantees that you're going to make money. That's what people forget. They think, oh, I'm going to invest here and make money. No, it's a hedged bet. But there's no guarantees in investing. You have to risk. And risk means that you could lose money. And then it says here when to save and when to invest. Those are two different things. When to save. When is it time to save? When is time to invest? This is what you're going to have to learn. Like I made my recent investments on the economics, on this, on my opinion, which could be completely wrong. But I understand that I'm accepting the risk of all the losses of all my investments. Definitely the cryptocurrency ones. I pretty much threw that in a jar into an exchange. And if I make money, I do, but I put it up. If I lose it all, I'm okay. But it's very high risk. So we'll go to the next slide. All right, describe short. Now there's no right or wrong answer here. Describe a short-term goal you have and a long-term goal. Which would you assign savings and which to investing and why? So when you're choosing the long-term goals or short-term goals, describe each one. And then you could put short-term goal, give me your goal, and then describe savings and just put savings or investing, and then give me your long-term goal, and then put savings or investing underneath. So keep it easier. Don't overthink it. There's no right or wrong answers unless you come up with some weirdo-ass responses. But other than that, you're good. So take some time to do that. Give you a couple minutes. All right, couple more minutes. I need you guys to... Oh, I like Eduardo kept it simple. Short-term goal, get a car. So what's your short-term and long-term? So everyone start filling it out. All right. Graduating, that is a long-term goal. And Brianna Diaz, where are you graduating? High school, college, trade school? Could you please unmute yourself?
High school.
All right. Would that be an investment or would that be a savings?
Investment.
Yeah, because you're investing in yourself. Great answer. Don't doubt yourself. You know the answers. Thank you, Brianna. All right. Let's see. All right. Popo graduating. All right. Very cool. All right. Anthony Negrete. Could you mute yourself?
Yeah.
Yep. So short term, get a driver's license. Is that investment or is that savings?
Investment.
Yeah, it is investment because you're investing in yourself so you can move yourself around. Good shit. Thank you, Anthony. All right. Short term. All right. High school license. Once they graduate nursing school, that's cool. That's cool. And the alumni really said some really cool stuff. Wow. If you guys could take the example of Georgina, she answered the question in depth and a very accurate answer. Remember, there's no right or wrong answers, but she did a very in depth answer. So you guys could use that as an example for future. All right. Let's see. Short term, we'll graduate high school. Long term, start a business. That's cool. That's a great idea. Let's see. Short term, go. Yeah, I like answer. Pass Miss Finley's class. Yes, please pass her class. If not, they dock my paycheck. So please pass her class. So, all right, come on. Let's see. Short-term goal will be graduating high school. Long-term goal will be associate's degree in science. Not bad. Cool stuff. All right, cool. So you guys have it. Everything you do, is an investment or savings. Let's see. Who have I not called? All right, James Calderon. Could you please unmute yourself? Hey, what's in your opinion? There's no right or wrong answer here. The best investment.
Which one?
The best investment in your opinion.
Best investment? Probably a house.
All right, cool, cool, cool. You never thought about investing in yourself?
No.
Invest in yourself first. That's the answer I'm looking for. But yes, a house is linked to long-term financial success. Good stuff. Let's see. Boom, boom. Miss Castro. So what's, in your opinion, the best investment for you? No right or wrong answer.
Um,
Don't be ChatGPTing or having the neighbor ChatGPT it, Miss Castro.
Wait, what was the question?
In your opinion, what's the best investment for you?
I don't know, probably like the future.
Yeah, then you do know. No, I got you though. Thank you. Great answer. Great answer. All right. Let's see. All right, we'll go on to the next PowerPoint slide. All right, now we're going to break down common investments. This right here is going to go more into details and we're going to go into what stocks because I've mentioned what I do with stocks, bonds, I didn't mention that, mutual funds, ETFs, real estate assets, retirement tax advantages. There's a lot. This is going to be a lot of information for you to start considering because this information is something that you're going to deal with if you like it or not. So it's good to start learning the basics of it because this is going to be part of your life. This is going to be who you are. And we're going to watch a short video that breaks it down. It's the basics of investing. And it's going to break down stocks and bonds and fields. It's just going to go a little bit more into detail so you guys could get different opinions. So we'll be watching that video for you guys now as it gets uploaded. And then we'll go from there. So, yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Wait a moment.
No, you're good. Yeah, so this video is just going to break down the basics of everything that we're trying to get you guys started. We're trying to get you guys moving forward in, and we're just trying to give you the basics. So if someone says stocks, at least you know what a stock is. But you don't have to learn how to invest. You don't have to learn. That comes with the territory. That comes with learning. So everything in here is going to be new. And it's okay. If you don't know, don't get mad or don't be like, bro, I don't care what this guy's saying, but at least just listen and try to understand it. Because everything that we're doing here, little by little, it'll start making more sense as time goes by. So I'll let her begin and we could go.
A lot about all kinds of stuff, Professor Dave explains. Most people have heard that investing is the best way to accumulate wealth. Investment is the act of redirecting resources from being consumed today so that they may create benefits in the future. More precisely, investment is the use of assets to earn income or profit. The wealthiest individuals in the world became wealthy through successful investment of their assets. Let's go over the basics regarding common ways that people invest. Stocks and bonds are two of the most common forms of investment. A stock is a representation of ownership in a public company. They can be risky to purchase as their prices can change dramatically and unpredictably, but often the bigger the risk, the bigger the potential reward. There are two ways for stockholders to make money: dividends and capital gains. Dividends are profits paid out 4 times a year to all shareholders. The size of the dividend depends on the profit of the company. Capital gains are when a stockholder simply sells their stock for more than they originally paid for it. If the stockholder made a profit, it's a capital gain. If they lost money, it's a capital loss. A market for buying and selling stock is called a stock exchange. Brokerage firms are businesses that help stockholders trade stocks and sometimes even deal out stocks. These days, anyone can easily access the stock exchange on their phone through apps that offer brokerage services. A bond is essentially an IOU issued by a corporation or by some level of government. When you buy a bond, you are loaning money in return for a guaranteed payout at a later date. Bonds are usually a more stable investment than stocks. There are 3 components of bonds: their coupon rate, maturity date, and par value amount. The coupon rate is the interest rate that a bond issuer will pay to the bondholder. The time at which payment to a bondholder is due is called the bond's maturity. A bond's par value, assigned by whoever issues the bond, is the amount to be paid to the bondholder at maturity. In order for investment to take place, an economy first must have a financial system, which is the network of structures and mechanisms that allows the transfer of money between savers and borrowers. As we learned in the previous tutorial, when people save their money, they often are actually lending funds to others. Savers and borrowers may be linked directly through what's known as financial intermediaries. Financial intermediaries are institutions that help move funds from savers to borrowers. They include banks, which we learned about in the previous tutorial, but they also include mutual funds, hedge funds, and pension funds. A mutual fund pools the savings of many individuals and invests this money in a variety of stocks, bonds, and other financial assets. A hedge fund is a private investment organization that employs risky strategies that can often make huge profits for investors. In general, these investors already have tremendous wealth and are knowledgeable about investing. A pension fund is income that some retirees receive after working a certain number of years or reaching a certain age. In some cases, injuries may also qualify a working person for certain pension benefits. Employers set up pension funds by collecting deposits, and pension fund managers then invest those deposits in stocks, bonds, and other financial assets. In general, the best way to invest your money is to put it in a diverse range of securities. This reduces risk, especially when stock or bond prices drop. Therefore, people often invest some of their money in more risky ventures, but invest the rest in more stable funds. It is also better to invest money earlier in life. This is because one of the greatest assets is time. The longer your money is invested in securities, the more it will grow. Put another way, you make more money on the money your money already makes. When investing money, it's important to consider the 2 types of interest: simple and compound. Simple interest is based on the principal amount of a loan or deposit. Compound interest is based on the principal amount and the interest that accumulates on it in every period. Thus, it can be regarded as interest on interest. Simple interest is only calculated on the principal amount of a loan or deposit. The formula looks like this. A equals P times the quantity 1 plus RT, where A is the final amount, P is the initial principal balance, R is the annual interest rate, and T is time, usually in years. Compound interest is calculated based on both the principal and interest accrued. The formula looks like this. A equals P times the quantity 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power, where A is the final amount, P is the initial principal balance, R is the interest rate, N is the number of times interest is applied per time period, usually in years, and T is the number of periods elapsed. Let's look at an example. Say you loaned $10,000 to a friend and they agreed to pay it back in 5 years with an annual simple interest rate of 5%. After 5 years, the amount of interest you would get would be $2,500, as the total amount they would repay would be $12,500, which is the original principal plus the interest. Now say you loaned $10,000 to a friend and they agreed to pay it back in 5 years with an annual compound interest rate of 5%. Because you really want to make some money, you also make sure that interest is compounded monthly, or 12 times a year. After 5 years, the amount of interest you would get would now be $2,833.59, and your friend would have repaid you a total of $12,833.59. This example serves to illustrate that compound interest is far superior to simple interest when investing your money. Whenever consumers evaluate an investment, they must balance the risks involved with the rewards they expect to gain from the investment. In general, the higher the potential return on an investment, the riskier that investment is. In the next tutorial, we will look at one of the riskiest ways to borrow money: credit cards.
All right, that just broke down everything. There's gonna be a lot of stuff. Yesterday, last week, and this week are gonna be a lot about finances, and these are a lot of subjects right now. You're like, okay, I get interest, but what's compound? I get investing, but what's ETFs? There's gonna be a lot of different things that's gonna break it down. Because like he mentioned, stocks are just buying into a company, and there's a lot of stock purchasing brokerages or firms, such as like the famous one, Robinhood. You go on your phone, download it. For cryptocurrency, it's Coinbase. For Fidelity or mutual funds, you could use Fidelity. There's a lot of different companies that go. Bonds now is something like usually the U.S. government, LA, the smaller cities do bonds where you invest in you buy the bonds and they give you back an interest rate, and you earn interest on that and you get a fixed income. Mutual funds and ETFs are large organizations that you just invest your money, and they have already 5, 10, 15, 30 companies that they invest in. So you're just part of a larger group and you get a little percentage of the risk. Real estate's a little simpler, but that includes land. That includes commercial buildings like storages, office buildings, schools, but most of the schools are private, homes, apartments. There's a lot of things in real estate. People do Airbnbs, people do short-term rental, mid-term rentals, sublease. There's a lot of different real estate assets, and that's one of the ones that has made the most money for Americans for the last, 30, 40 years. And retirement tax advantage accounts. These now are like 401ks, which is an account that your business invests in and puts that money on the side to you, and they don't charge you taxes, but you can't touch that money for 5, 10, 15, 30 years. So you let it sit and it grows. Tax advantage accounts, Roth IRAs, that's an investment retirement account. There's a bunch of different aspects that you could just let it sit and protect your finances. And diversification, in short, it means having some stocks, having some bonds, having some funds, having some real estate, and having cash. Cash is still king as of now, because I have stocks, I don't have bonds, but I have a high dumb risk in crypto. I have light real estate, and I have light mutual funds. I have no retirement accounts because I invest all my money into my own businesses and my own stuff. So right now I'm, not making the best choice there because I'm not protecting myself for the future. I'm investing in myself in high risk things at the moment and now. But those are the choices that we have. If you want to buy stocks, cool. If you want to buy real estate, if you want to be more conservative and just have bonds and mutual funds, it's okay. The thing about money, it's how you deal personally with money. Everyone has a different relationship of what they view of success. Everyone has a different relationship of what they view as prosperity, of being rich, you know? And all I ask for you guys is there's a lot of influence on social media, TikToks, Instagram, IG, that are producing a lot of fake information, a lot of get rich quick schemes. Just be careful, they're kind of all bullshit. I have friends who do that. They've never made money in real estate, but hey, they're online selling a real estate course. So, be careful where you get your information and most of this information, you get it through experience, through colleges, through formal institutions of learning. Instagram's social media is trash to really learn about money well. You could get the tips, you could get this stuff, but if you really want to learn, do not consider and do not take advice from them. All right, so we will go to the next page. All right, why is diversification, spreading across assets, often safer than putting all money into stocks? So what's your guys' opinion here? And again, there's no right or wrong answer. Every opinion has its validity when you're talking about finances. Because I have friends who invest a lot of their money into stocks and stuff every month. I have friends who just put it in cash. I have other friends who buy houses. So everyone has to fit what their personality traits benefit them and what they feel comfortable with. That's the important aspect. So start putting that in the chat. There is no wrong answer. There is no wrong answer. So just understand that. The point of this thing is just getting you thinking outside the box, getting you considering what finances look like and what you would consider for your future. Oh, let me see. And then if I could have Georgina after she finishes this last scoop, how has your opinion of finances changed since you went from high school to community? I'm not sure what university you go to. If you could let us know also. And how has your view of finances changed?
Okay, can you guys hear me? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't yell at us, Georgina. We're all here. We hear you.
I'm so sorry. So in high school, I honestly did not know that I needed to save or that I needed to invest at all. I didn't even know what a stock was, honestly, until I joined Youth Champions and they were like, "Oh, this is what it is. Like, this is how you do it. Like, you should, if like you're seeking further help, like you should, like there's like many online websites and like not like Instagram and like the get quick, like actual websites that like teach you like the definitions, how to start, and what advisors to go to, stuff like that." And then I was like, oh, I was like, I had no clue what that was until then. And then going into college, I'm like, okay, I actually have to start like doing it because of what I learned in Youth Champions. Like the younger you do, the more money you have when you're older. So completely mind changing. And I actually have to get like put my foot down and start doing my homework. Yes.
All right, cool.
Sorry. Also, I go to Occidental College.
All right, cool. So you went to college accidentally. That's cool. Congratulations. So we'll go from there. All right. You see, everyone has a different perspective. I see in the chat I got awesome 6 answers, but there's 20 of you guys. So I'm missing 14. I might be horrible at math, but there's a couple of you guys still missing. So I need you guys to be active. I need you to guide this. Next week you'll have wonderful Michelle, so you could tell her how difficult of a facilitator was. But as of now, we need you guys to participate because I want to make sure this is an internship and I want you guys to get paid. That's very important. So just as we continue this conversation, please keep filling your work. And remember, these workbook questions are part of your homework. So whatever you do now with me, or if I have questions with me, or Sheila or Joanna, we could help you answer them. And also, it helps you do your homework. If you turn in all your workbooks, hey, you make money. You go to a couple field trips too. So, all right, couple more answers coming through. Appreciate you guys taking the time, like always. And we will go. All right, cool. And then we'll go to the next PowerPoint slide as all these start processing. Holy shit. We finished. All right, cool. All right. So next class, we're going to be focusing more on detailed aspects of financing. Look, these are going to be slower classes. These are going to be classes that we are just walking you through. We're introducing you to these new subjects. We're introducing you to what is going to be part of the rest of your life. You could be a teacher, you could be a mechanic, you could be a real estate agent, you could be a hair salonist, you could be a carpenter. These are all things you're going to have to know because all your jobs provide you some type of retirement account. And you got to understand what that is. Even if you're working for the union, they make good money, but they have a pension and they have things you invest in. They invest for you to take care of your future livelihood. There's a lot of different aspects that we could go around. And we got to understand that once you start making money and once you start making real money, where it's like a lot of money, taxes is going to be the next thing that we're going to go to. Everyone pays taxes. Everyone. That's the only thing guaranteed in the United States is death and taxes. So, try to mitigate both of them. But when you consider that, it's like we're going to be going into a lot of details. That's why this class is more like stocks, bonds, stuff like that. So it's going to be some words that you're not aware of. It's okay. We got to understand. I still go to experts. I have a certified public accountant that I go to, like, bro, what's going on? Like, I don't have time to study this, that he takes care of that for me. They even have attorneys that dedicate their life to finances and taxes. And they have investment funds that these guys dedicate to their niche markets of investing. But no one knows everything. That's why it's important to understand this is just a very grassroots, very basic overview. But we're going to go from here on out and keep developing the skills, or at least the knowledge that you guys need. But before, I just want to see, we're going to revisit the compound interest because I want you guys to understand how this works. And there's a video that we're going to watch. It's how to turn $100 into $1 million with compound interest. So you guys understand how that role is put into play. How compound interest is not hard to understand, but it could help you grow. So if you guys invest $100 now that most of you guys agreed, the earlier you start investing in yourself and putting money aside, the faster you'll get, the more money you make. Because if you and me invest $100 a month from now, when I'm 65 and when you're 65, you're probably going to have $1 million more than I would have for the same amount of money we put in. So I'll go let this video ride.
Hello and welcome to Money Mindset. In today's fast-paced and ever-changing world, it's crucial to have a strong understanding of personal finance and investment principles. And one of the most important of these principles is the power of compounding. In this video, we'll be exploring the concept of compounding and how it can help you grow your wealth and reach your financial goals faster than you thought possible. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover the secret to financial success through the power of compounding. So, what exactly is compound interest? At its core, compound interest is the interest on a loan or deposit that is calculated based on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from previous periods. In other words, the interest you earn in one period becomes part of the principal for the next period, allowing your investment to grow exponentially over time. This is why compounding is often referred to as the miracle of compounding, or like Albert Einstein famously referred to compounding interest as the eighth wonder of the world. He went on to state that those who understand it, earn it, and those who don't, will pay it. The power of compounding is truly remarkable, and it can help you achieve your financial goals faster than you might think. Young people often neglect to save for retirement. For people in their 20s, the future seems so far ahead that other expenses feel more urgent. Yet these are the years when compound interest is a game changer. Saving small amounts can pay off massively down the road, far more than saving higher amounts later on in life. Here's one example of its effect. Let's say you start investing in the market at $100 a month while still in your 20s. Then let's posit that you average a positive return of 1% a month, 12% annually, compounded monthly across 40 years. Now let's imagine that your twin, who is the same age, doesn't begin investing until 30 years later. Your tardy sibling invests $1,000 a month for 10 years, averaging the same positive return. When you hit your 40-year savings mark, and your twin has saved for 10 years, your twin will have generated about $230,000 in savings, while you will have a bit more than $1.17 million. Even though your twin was investing 10 times as much as you, and even more toward the end, the miracle of compound interest makes your portfolio significantly bigger, here by a factor of a little more than 5. So, how can you maximize the benefits of compounding? The key is to start early and invest regularly. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to compound and grow. Additionally, investing regularly helps to take advantage of dollar cost averaging, which can help reduce the impact of market volatility on your investments. However, it's important to note that compounding can also work against you in situations like credit card debt, where you are paying interest on interest. In these cases, it's crucial to pay off your debts as soon as possible to minimize the interest charges. Another important aspect of maximizing the power of compounding is diversifying your investments. By investing in a mix of stocks, bonds, and other asset classes, you can potentially reduce your overall risk and improve your chances of achieving your financial goals. Finally, compounding can play a significant role in personal finance and retirement planning. By starting early and investing regularly in a diverse portfolio, you can potentially achieve financial security and independence in your golden years. So, in conclusion, the power of compounding is a key principle in personal finance and investment. It can help you grow your wealth over time by earning interest on both the original principal and accumulated interest from previous periods. To maximize its benefits, it's important to start early, invest regularly, and diversify your investments. By doing so, you can potentially achieve financial security and independence for your future.
All right, that just broke down the compound effect. It's a very simple process, and I personally use a compound effect when I do my purchases. Like I told you, I dibble and dabble in crypto. I don't buy it. I just bet on if it's gonna go up or down, and that's why it's a higher risk. But it has been compounding, and you start with a certain amount, and if you do it right, you just little by little increase, and the more money you have, the more you increase, and it keeps adding up. Starts off slow, but if you look a year down the line, 2 year down the line, and that's when it really starts speeding up. And it's important to understand that now that you guys are young, youthful, vibrant, that life's pretty cool. If you play your cards right. And if you play your cards right young, you set up your future. So, invest in yourself. And we'll go to the next slide. All right. I'll give you 2 minutes to finish up your workbook. Please turn in your workbooks. Please make it happen. It's very simple. If you could turn it in today, you're good. I believe you still have till Friday, if I'm not wrong, Sheila, to turn it in. But if you turn it in while in class or the same day of class, it sure saves you time. And they just put in the chat, yes, Friday 5. But if you take care of it now, better. Because I miss deadlines all the time. So if you miss the deadline, you don't get paid. So take care of the homework now, turn it in now. If not, you have to Friday, put in your Google Calendar, your Apple Calendar, your Android Calendar, whatever calendar. Make sure you're responsible with this internship with Youth Champions so you get paid. you a couple minutes and we got to continue. We got a couple minutes left to do announcements and go. Let's go to that. All right. Again, you have till this. Right now, we're talking about the field trip. The Junior Achievement Finance Park is all about what we've been talking about, but it puts you in real situations. I've been there one time and it's fucking awesome. I wish I had that shit when I was a kid because, man, it puts you in real experiences. It really makes it benefit you. I encourage you. I'm going to try to be there the 7th. It would be cool to meet a couple of you guys in person. But the RSVP is this weekend. I encourage you to go because when you go, it's 4 points. Those 4 points are huge once they tally them all up and make sure you make all your money. Because if you miss 1 or 2 field trips, boom, that takes a toll on your paycheck. So this is an internship. I would encourage you highly, and it's actually something that's worth it. This is probably one of the few field trips I could say that's really worth it and worth your time because you will learn. We have an in-night speaker series. Miller McCoy seems like a good dude. That's a Zoom meeting, and you get points for it too. So, dude, that's easy. Turn on your phone, put it on mute, watch this dude talk. Hopefully, fuck around. It shows you something. If not, hey, you get paid to be there. You get points. The student leader form is now open. So, if any of you guys are considering to be student leaders, that's awesome. College match program. Not sure what this is, but Sheila will fill in the gaps. We have a free Mustang immersive experience. It's a museum about the Ford Mustang in LA, and you get free access. You and 4 buddies or 3 buddies can go. And Next Gen Career Institute now open. So Sheila, fill in the gaps or I'm dropping the ball in, please.
All right, thank you so much for that, Pablo. Okay, for the college match program, if you guys are currently in a college match program, especially in your school or something, it's not part of you champions. We would like to know if ever you are in one. If you don't know what college match is, maybe you're not maybe you're not in it, and that's all right. So you don't have to fill out the form. If you are in a college match program, please say yes to the form and fill it out. For the free Mustang immersive experience, so this is actually like a museum. You're just gonna be there. So you're actually invited to a free Mustang immersive experience, and you can bring up to 3 classmates or family members with you. So what you're gonna do is what the highlights there is travel through time and culture and a multi-sensory Mustang adventure. You can also explore iconic Mustang movie moments and experience an exciting 4D thrill ride. So what you're gonna do for this, if you would like to avail this, it's actually free, right? So what you're gonna do is fill out the form, fill out the sign up form on the chat below. Once you sign that up, you'll actually receive an email with a voucher code, and then you have to go to the website that is also listed below. The link is in there. You have to go to the website, input your seat or the date you're going to be there, and then input the voucher code so that when you check out, it's just free. So if you're going to bring 3 friends with you, you're going to need to do the process all over again. Sign up, get the voucher code, and then input your date that you're going to be there, and then input the voucher again. So if you want 4 tickets, you have to sign up 4 times to get 4 voucher codes. You also have to complete 4 separate checkouts on the website itself. So that's going to be for the free Mustang experience. And the deadline of that will be February 8th, which is going to be next week. Also, for the First Gen Career Institute Spring 2026, this one is actually only for alumni. So if you're, I think alumni here is Georgina. So Georgina, if you would like to be part of the First Gen U, you must identify as a first generation college student, live and attend college in the United States, which you currently are doing right now, and be pursuing an associate or bachelor's degree. And what you're going to learn, and this program is designed to support first generation college students like you in exploring careers and building professional skills. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and sign up to that. Also for the student leader, guys, if you would be interested in doing the student leader position, I know some of you didn't do it last year, but if you would like to get out of your comfort zone and lead a breakout room, that would be highly appreciated. You're gonna grow so much by doing that role. So if you would like to pursue it, please fill out the form, and we would highly suggest you do it so that you'll get out of your shell or something like that. But yeah, this is also for all of you. And I think that's all for me. Thank you. Do you have any other final thoughts, Pablo, before closing it out?
Am I muted? No, okay.
No.
No, that's cool. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Michelle should be back next week. I'm just filling in for her. It's cool to see a couple familiar faces. Always turn in your homework. And Mr. Marquez, turn in your homework. You didn't turn it in last week. They just emailed me. So make sure to make it happen. Don't be too happy if you're not going to get paid. Make sure to turn in your homework. Luis, yeah, we're talking to Luis. And then get your guys' act right. Appreciate each and every one of you. You guys enjoy your day. Try to get out the lunch slump and enjoy your day.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And thank you so much, Pablo. Please send an emoji before you go. We'd love to see it.